In 1976, a boy climbed into the way back of a station wagon with no seatbelt, waved at the cars behind him, and rode 2 hours to his grandmother's like that, and nobody thought a thing of it. That morning, his mother had put Vicks on his tongue, sent him to the store alone with $1, and told him not to come back until the streetlights came on. Every single thing his parents did that day would get a phone call made about them now. He did not know he was living inside a childhood the world was about to make illegal. And the one thing they did that would get them reported today, the thing you would give anything to give your own kids, is number 1 on this list. We all lived it. A whole childhood of things that would set off sirens today, and back then it was just Tuesday. He was not unusual. On 1,000 blocks there were parents doing the same 25 things, raising free, capable, unsupervised kids in a world that had a village to catch them. It was not reckless. It was trust, and it was a whole neighborhood watching, and it built something you cannot build in a child anymore. We did not just get safer. We traded a childhood of freedom for a childhood of supervision, and we are still not sure we came out ahead. Number 22 is something they put in your mouth for a cold that a doctor would lose his license over today. Number 14 is something every parent on the block could do to your child that would end in a lawsuit now. And number 2 is the one that sounds like neglect today and was actually the greatest gift a kid could get. These 25 things were never dangerous the way they sound. They were a childhood of freedom, trust, and a village, run by parents who were not afraid of the world. Every one of them, that boy lived. Hit that subscribe button and let's count down 25 things black parents did in the 1970s that would never be allowed today. Number 25. They let you ride in the way back. The very back of the station wagon had no seats, no belts, and no rules. You and your cousins rolled around back there facing out the rear window, waving at strangers, sliding across the vinyl on every turn. Seatbelts were not federally required until 1984, so nobody used them. For the boy, that cargo space was the best seat in the car, a little clubhouse on wheels. Riding loose in the back is illegal in every state now, one of the clearest lines between then and now. It was not just a car ride. It was a whole childhood of freedom, doing 60 on the highway. Number 24. They held you in the front seat. A car seat? You were the car seat. A baby rode in Mama's arms up front, and a toddler stood on the bench seat looking out the windshield, and when Dad hit the brakes, an arm shot across your chest. Tennessee passed the first car seat law in 1978. Before that, you were on your own. For the boy, riding up front on his mother's lap was just how you got where you were going. Today, that is a ticket and a lecture. Then it was every family in America. It was not carelessness. It was a whole country that had not written the rule yet. Number 23. They sent you to buy their cigarettes. You walked into the store, said whose they were for, and the man sold them to a 9-year-old. Your parent gave you the money and the brand, and you carried a pack of cigarettes home like it was a loaf of bread. Nobody blinked. You might have gotten to keep the change. For the boy, that errand was just another thing a trusted kid got sent to do. A child buying cigarettes is unthinkable now. Then it was an ordinary Saturday. It was not just an errand. It was a store that knew your family and a world with fewer walls in it. Number 22. They put Vicks on your tongue. Whatever was wrong with you, that little blue jar was the cure. inside and out. Rubbed on your chest, put under your nose, and yes, a dab swallowed off the spoon for a sore throat, a thing a doctor would lose his mind over today. Castor oil for the rest. For the boy, that jar meant his parents had decided he would be fine, and he was. Home remedies ran the medicine cabinet when a clinic cost more than a family had. It was not just a salve. It was parents curing you with what they had, the only way they knew. Number 21, they let you drink from the hose. On a hot day, you did not go inside for water. You drank from the garden hose in the yard. You turned it on, let the hot plastic water run cool, and drank straight from it, then sprayed your friends. Germs and chemicals were nobody's concern. For the boy, that first cold gulp from the hose was the taste of summer itself. Parents cringe at that now. Then it was just how a kid got a drink. It was not just water. It was a childhood spent entirely outside, coming in for nothing. Number 20. They let you ride in the truck bed. A ride in the open bed of a pickup was a childhood thrill, not a crime. You climbed in the back with the coolers and the kids, and the truck pulled off, and you rode with the wind in your face, holding on to the side, to the lake, to the cookout, down the highway. For the boy, that was the best ride of the whole summer. Riding in a truck bed is illegal in many states now. Then it was a Saturday. It was not just a ride, it was wind and freedom and a little danger nobody was afraid of. Number 19. They let you roam all day. You left after breakfast and were gone until dark, miles from home, and nobody knew exactly where. No phone, no check-in, no way to reach you. You were 3 neighborhoods over on a bike, and your parents did not worry because the whole block was watching. For the boy, that range was the size of his whole world, and he had all of it. Letting a kid disappear all day can bring a knock from the authorities now. It was not neglect. It was trust, backed up by a village that had your back. Number 18. They left you home with your brother. Nobody hired a babysitter. The oldest kid was the babysitter. Your parents went to work and left a 10-year-old in charge of a 6-year-old, and you fed each other, kept the doors locked, and did not burn the house down. You answered to your sibling. For the boy, being left in charge was the day he learned his parents trusted him with something real. Leaving young kids home alone can invite the authorities today. Then it was how a working family ran. It was not just babysitting. It was children trusted to hold the house together, and they did. Number 17. They sent you to school alone at 5. A 5-year-old walked to school by himself, blocks away, with a key around his neck. You walked there and back, crossed the streets, let yourself in, and started your homework before anybody got home. Nobody drove you, nobody watched. For the boy, that walk was the first thing in his life that was entirely his own. Walking a 5-year-old to school alone would raise eyebrows and maybe a report now. It was not just a walk. It was a child trusted with his own 2 feet and a whole route. Pattern break. Modern comparison. In 1976, a black parent raised a child on a long leash, out the door at dawn, home by dark, trusted with money, errands, younger siblings, and the whole neighborhood. The world was not softer back then, it was harder. But those parents made a bet that a child grows stronger with freedom and a village than with a fence and a phone. Today, we track our kids on an app, drive them everywhere and never let them out of sight, and somehow they are more anxious than we ever were. We call the old way reckless. But look what got traded. The freedom, the trust, the confidence of a kid who solved his own problems. We did not just make childhood safer, we made it smaller, and we are still counting the cost. Number 16, they let you ride with no helmet. You rode a bike all day, everywhere, and there was not a helmet in the county. Banana seat, high handlebars, no pads, no helmet, riding double down the middle of the street and off homemade ramps. You fell, you scraped, you got up and rode home. For the boy, that bike and no rules was the purest freedom he ever had. Helmet laws and padded everything came later. Then it was just a kid and a bike. It was not just riding. It was a child learning the world by falling down in it. Number 15, they let you play on metal and concrete. The playground was a metal slide baking in the sun over a slab of concrete. You climbed a jungle gym 3 times your height, went down a slide hot enough to burn your legs, and if you fell on blacktop. You learned to be careful the hard way. For the boy, that danger was half the fun and all the lesson. Modern playgrounds are low and cushioned with rubber. Those metal death traps are long gone. It was not just a playground. It was a place a kid learned real risk and real judgment. Number 14, any grown person could correct you. Here is the one that would end in a lawsuit now. Any adult on that block had full authority over you. Miss Ella on the porch, the man washing his car, your friend's mother, any of them could stop you, correct you, and send you home, and then call your mother to report what you did. You answered to all of them. For the boy, that meant 100 sets of eyes he could not get past, and 100 adults who claimed him. A stranger disciplining your child is unthinkable now. Then it was the whole village doing its job. It was not overstepping. It was a neighborhood raising every child on it as its own. Number 13, they whooped you and so did the world. We do not romance this one. Discipline in that house was physical, and it was the same in every house on the block. You knew the look that came first. You knew, wait till we get home. A grown person could get you, then send you to your mother for more. Underneath it was parents raising a black child to survive a world that punished his mistakes harder than anybody's. It was strict because the world was stricter. School paddling was legal and common too, banned in most states only later. Nobody called it gentle. It came from parents terrified of what the world did to a child who did not learn. Number 12, they let you stay out till the streetlights. There was no set time to come home. There was a light. You played from morning with a pack of kids, and the only clock was the corner streetlight buzzing on at dusk. When it lit, everybody scattered for home at a dead run. For the boy, that light was the one edge on a day that otherwise had no bottom. A kid gone from morning to full dark, unsupervised, would worry any parent today. It was not just a curfew, it was a whole neighborhood raising a pack of kids all day long. Number 11, they took you everywhere. Grown folks went, house parties, card games, the club cookout, the barber shop. You went, and you sat in the corner. You were up past midnight at grown folks' functions, in rooms full of smoke and laughter, watching adults be adults. You learned the whole grown world by sitting quietly in it. For the boy, those late nights were an education no school ever gave him. Kids in those adult spaces would raise eyebrows now. Then it was just family. It was not just staying up late. It was a child folded into the whole life of his community. Number 10, They fed you off anybody's plate. The 5-second rule was generous. Food that hit the floor got picked up, and a shared spoon fed the whole family. Your mother tasted your food, you drank behind your cousin, and a dropped piece of candy got dusted off and eaten. Nobody sanitized anything. Nobody got sick much. For the boy, that was just how a family ate. One pot and a lot of shared spoons. Today's parents would faint. Then it was a house that ran on trust and not much worry. It was not unsanitary. It was a family too close to keep its germs to itself. Pattern break. The one thing that ran through him. Here is the part of his story we have been circling. Years later, grown, the boy stood in his own yard watching his own child who had a helmet, a car seat, a tracker in his pocket, and a scheduled play date, and who had never once left the yard alone. And he loved his kid too much to do it any other way. But he stood there and remembered being 7, gone all day, miles from home, free, trusted with his own life by parents who were not afraid, held by a whole block of people who claimed him. He remembered the wind in the truck bed and the streetlights coming on and the long ride home in the way back. And he understood that his parents had given him something he did not know how to give back, a childhood without a fence around it. And the biggest piece of it is still coming. It is number 1. Number 9. They let you get hurt and figure it out. You fell out of the tree, you got the wind knocked out of you, and the answer was, "You're fine, get up." Skinned knees, split lips, a wrist that might have been broken and got wrapped at home. Unless there was a bone showing, you shook it off and kept going. Nobody rushed you anywhere. For the boy, learning he could take a hit and get back up was half of growing up. That hands-off approach reads as neglect now. Then it was how a kid got tough. It was not that they did not care, it was that they were raising somebody who could handle himself. Number 8. They told you to fix your face. You did not get to be in a mood, and nobody asked how you felt about it. Pout, roll your eyes, or catch an attitude, and you got fix your face or I'll give you something to cry about. Your feelings were real, but they were not running that house. For the boy, that meant learning to carry himself right, no matter what was going on inside. Today we talk feelings out. Then you fixed your face and kept it moving. It was not that they ignored you. It was a generation with no time and no words for all that. Number 7. They made you speak to every adult. You could not walk past a grown person without speaking, by name, every time. Down the block, in the store, on the porch, say hello to Miss Johnson. Walk past somebody without speaking and you heard about it the whole way home, and you never did it twice. For the boy, that rule meant he knew every adult on his block, and every one of them knew him. Kids barely make eye contact now. Then, greeting your elders was law. It was not just manners, it was a child stitched into a whole neighborhood of watching eyes. Number 6. They let you handle fireworks and fire. On the 4th, they handed you a punk stick and a pack of firecrackers and let you go. You lit bottle rockets out of your hand, held sparklers down to your fingers, and set off firecrackers in the street with the other kids. Adults were nearby, sort of. For the boy, that little bit of fire in his own hands was pure summer power. Kids and fireworks would horrify a modern parent. Then it was the 4th of July. It was not just fireworks, it was a childhood that let a kid hold a little danger and learn it. Number 5. They put you to work young. You had a job before you were 10, and the money was not always yours. You cut grass, watched kids, ran a paper route, helped in somebody's shop, hauled groceries for change. Your parents volunteered you, and you learned what $1 took. For the boy, that early work was where he learned he could earn and be counted on. Child labor sensibilities are different now. Then, work was how a kid grew up. It was not that they took your childhood. It was that they built a person who could stand on his own. Number 4, they disappeared and left you a list. They went out for the day and left a child in charge of a list of chores and a locked door. Clean the house, mind your brother. Do not open the door for anybody. Have it done before we get back. And it got done because you knew what waited if it did not. For the boy, being trusted alone with the whole house was proof he was almost grown. Leaving a kid alone all day with responsibilities would draw scrutiny now. It was not neglect. It was parents growing a capable child on purpose. Number 3, they sent you out to settle it yourself. You came home crying about a kid down the block, and they did not call anybody. They sent you back out. No parent meeting, no phone call, no intervention. Go handle it. You went back out and worked it out with the other kids, and you learned to stand up for yourself. For the boy, being sent back out was how he learned to fight his own battles and keep his own friends. Parents manage every conflict now. Then, kids settled their own on the block. It was not that they would not help, it was that they were raising somebody who could handle people. Number 2, they let you be bored. Here is the one that sounds like neglect and was actually a gift. Nobody entertained you, ever. There were no lessons, no camps, no schedule, no screen handed over to keep you quiet. You were bored, and out of that boredom you built forts, invented games, and figured out who you were. For the boy, all that empty time was where his whole imagination came from. Today, every hour is filled and optimized. Then, a kid's time was his own to waste. It was not that they neglected you, it was that they left you the room to become yourself. Number 1, they sent you out the door and didn't worry. That is it, the plainest thing on the whole list, and the one that holds all the others. They opened the door in the morning and let you go, no phone, no tracker, no plan, no fear, into a whole day of your own. And they trusted you to come home in one piece when the lights came on. That boy we started with spent 1,000 days exactly that way, free and unwatched and completely safe, because a whole neighborhood had him. And every single thing on this list, the way back, the hose, the roaming, the being bored, came out of that one plain fact. Parents who were not afraid to let a child be free in a world that still had a village to catch him. They would never allow it today. And that is our loss, not theirs. It was not that they did not care where you were. It was that they had built a world safe enough and a child capable enough that they did not have to know every second. That is the whole thing about these 25. Every one of them would get a modern parent reported, and every one of them made us who we are. We were the last kids who got to be feral and free and trusted, raised by parents brave enough to open the door and a neighborhood strong enough to keep it safe. We are not raising our own kids that way, and we know it, and we cannot help it, because the village is gone and the fear is real. But if you grew up like this, you know something today's children may never find out. That the greatest gift a parent can give is to trust you with your own life, open the door, and let you go be free. They gave us that, every reckless, beautiful, no longer allowed bit of it, and we are the last ones who will ever remember what it felt like.